This is good because this is my good side.
Okay, good. Okay, this is perfect. All right, well.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. This is
Ren Bishop. Hi, nice to meet you.
Ren Bishop. This might be the first time I hear your last name.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very Irish.
I love it. And it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for being done after brunch to have a bit of a chat. And I really wanted for you to share your story because every time you share your stories and you're so inspiring. So I really wanted to hear a bit what this process journey has been for you. So for this podcast, I wanted you to share like why you came to Madrid, what inspired you to come here and stay here.
Okay. It's a long story.
Yeah.
Actually, my whole like journey in Spain was kind of accidental.
Okay.
I feel like for me, even though I'm definitely a planner, like I'm a little more type A,
Yeah.
a lot of like the best things in my life have come from just like open-mindedness, spontaneity, like saying yes to new adventures. So I lived first in Valencia for 2 years, and that came about because after the pandemic, I think, I don't know, I didn't have like such a clear plan, but I always imagined myself in New York, I don't know, working in a big company, something creative. And I feel like after the pandemic, I was just had this craving of like life, adventure, something new, something out of the box. Like I just didn't want to follow the typical routine. I felt burnt out. I mean, like everybody.
Yeah.
And so I actually had a friend, I will always credit her like for everything. I had a friend who she had always dreamed of coming to Spain, like doing a gap year program. I don't know if I ever told you this story.
Okay. It's a very similar story to me that I always wanted to come here to Madrid to do a master's, and so one of my best friends came here.
Yeah.
So it was also kind of that influence of a friend that has
Literally.
brought us here.
Literally. So I remember she actually texted me to tell me like, oh my God, like I lined up my post-graduation stuff. Like I'm going to Valencia. I'm going to do a year there. And I just felt this insane like jealousy. And I've always been of the camp of like jealousy, such an important indicator of like things that you want.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn girl, like I'm so jealous. Like that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. She was like, yeah, but I actually really don't want to go alone. Like, would you want to come with? Would you want to come with me?
She asked. I was gonna say, how were you courageous to say like I want to go and not feel like you were copying the idea?
So I didn't. She actually like proposed the idea.
Wow.
And she was like, you know, yeah, I reserved it, but actually like I don't want to go alone. I would love to have you come with me. I think she knew that I was like a super spontaneous person and would say yes. And I was like, but are you sure? Because she was a Spanish major. I was like, I don't speak any Spanish. Like I've never even thought about going to Spain. Like, can I?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, like it's not a requirement. Like it really should have spoken, but whatever. She's like, it's not a requirement. Like let's go. It's only like 8 or 9 months. Like you should do it if you want. Like I'd love to go with you. I was like, honestly? Okay. So I did some interviews. I also like got in the same program, and then we came together. I was so unprepared. Like I did zero research.
You showed up.
I showed up. Like I showed up, but yeah, I'll always like credit for her for giving me kind of like that invitation. Wow. But I think again, like it's a super important thing in life to just have an open mind and say yes to new experiences. And I never could have imagined like how much my life was going to change.
Absolutely.
And that I would never come back.
Yeah. And you just said a comment before we started this podcast that you are thinking about staying here long term, right?
For sure. Oh my God, for sure. For sure. So that's crazy. So we then ended up going to Valencia, and we did like a 1-year exchange program, like teaching English in the schools.
Okay.
In like a little teeny tiny like public Valencian school, all Valenciano, like not even a whole lot of Spanish. And it was amazing, but it was really, really, really hard. Like I remember I had so much culture shock. I obviously like wasn't prepared. I didn't speak the language. I didn't like know what was happening. And I also had a lot of like nerves and anxiety, you know, having to do all the documentation, interacting with people like in such a different environment. Like I had a lot of anxiety, and as a people pleaser, like I also felt guilty, you know. I'm like, oh my God, I can't speak to your language, I don't know what I'm doing, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll also always say that I got super lucky with the people in the school that I was at. They like completely adopted me as their own. I don't know what I did to like deserve that.
Be you, obviously. Super lovable.
But I just went in like super excited and with so much energy, and I didn't know what I wanted from the experience, but I just knew I wanted to like embrace it and make the most of it. So I went in super open-minded, super positive, and yeah, I spent a year at that school, and I immediately like started putting myself like pedal to the metal, learning Spanish, trying to practice every day.
And you have very good Spanish now. Like,
oh my God.
We talk a lot in Spanish now, which is wild
like,
to me.
No, it's wild. Wow. Like, I didn't speak a single word, and I just went ham.
And how many years has this been now?
Now we're close, like 4.5. So it's been a long time.
But still, to be able to speak so well.
Yeah.
Only in 4 years and learning also as an adult, that's impressive.
It is. It's hard. But I think I was also always like motivated. I felt the social pressure a lot because I'm a super social person, and for me in Valencia, it was really hard to not have like connections.
Yeah.
And I missed so much like being able to go, of course you can like speak a little bit in English.
Yeah.
But I missed just being able to like connect with people, chit chat with people.
Yeah, on a more intimate level.
Yeah.
Too.
And I wanted it so bad. It was like, I think I'm a person, I've always loved like challenges.
Yeah.
And so it was this crazy challenge of like, oh my God, if I could like speak fluently and feel confident. I think also because I was so nervous, and I was never a language girl, like never in school, never. So it's just this crazy challenge that really like was interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of motivated you. It's so interesting. I'm starting to see a pattern with you of how you really see challenges or what could be something negative as an impulse to like really make it something positive. Like the fact that you felt this, absolutely, like you felt this jealousy of this friend that was doing such an incredible journey, and instead of being like, what the fuck, my life, and you said, why not? Why? Maybe that means that like you explore those feelings and try to see like where it's taking you. In terms of also feeling uncomfortable about not speaking well the language, you decided to not say, okay, Spain isn't for me, I have to go back home. Instead of saying like, wow, this is clearly something that I care about, so I'm going to make the effort to like learn the language.
100%. And I think, the jealousy point, I always, like, I think jealousy is such a good thing. I think like I listened to a podcast once about like the difference between jealousy and envy, you know, and jealousy is actually like my philosophy of life. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just seeing that you want what somebody else has. And then envy is kind of the darker emotion of like seeing that somebody else has something and you don't think they deserve it. Yeah. So that's like kind of dark.
You want to take it away.
Yeah. Okay. So that's more dark. That's more kind of like sinister. But I think jealousy is actually such a natural feeling, but also a good feeling. Yeah. Because if you're jealous of someone, well, obviously that's a signal of like, ooh, maybe I should go in that direction, you know, because it makes me feel something. Yeah. And if you're not jealous of someone, I even think about this like with my bosses and stuff. Like I look at people above me, I'm like, okay, do I want what they have? Am I jealous of what they have? Because I should be, you know what I mean? Because that should be the direction that I want.
Absolutely.
I think it's important.
Yeah. It drives you to keep going towards whatever you're interested in.
100%.
And so how did you end up in Madrid? Because you were in Valencia.
Yes, this was crazy. So we finished the first year, and then we decided to renew like another year of the same exchange program. Okay. So I mean, it's a year, but it's like a school year. So it's really like 8-9 months. So I knew I wanted to stay longer. I was finally kind of starting to get the language a little bit, like find my footing. And the first year, I came with all my savings from the U.S. It was good. It was cushy. I traveled that whole summer, and then I was dirt poor, but like dirt poor.
The salaries to teach here English.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
Anyone
that's like not a real
teach English. Do it, but start
like,
saving.
Be
money.
Prepared.
Yes.
So I knew that second year was really hard, and somebody calling me.
Yeah, right.
Hold on, wait. Let me take I don't think it's. Let me just. Okay,
we're back.
So I was just like dirt poor. Yeah. Can I curse? Are we like cursing now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was dirt fucking poor. Like to the point where I remember I would go to the little consume supermercado, and I'd be like, okay, $1 pasta, $2 pasta, $1 pasta, like truly that bad. But again, experience, whatever, and I really like had this feeling that I think I knew I wanted to stay, but I also wasn't feeling super fulfilled by. I wouldn't say super fulfilled. I think the teaching English experience was fulfilling, but obviously that wasn't my career. You know, I'm a super career-driven person. I knew I wanted to like start, go back to building my career, et cetera, et cetera.
It had its time and place, right? Yeah. For a year.
So, but I will say like it was a lovely experience, like being with kids and like they were just so beautiful and accepting. And again, I think in like the news these days, and especially in like Spanish news, which is so understandable. You know what I mean? There's so much like hatred towards tourism and towards foreigners. And I think it's just always important to keep in mind, like there are really serious and real like political issues, but when you're face to face, like having experiences with people, it's so different. And people can be so loving and so accepting and like And that's not just like a Spain thing. That's like a life thing, you know. Don't let all of the noise like deter you from connecting with people.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to take the time to be with people maybe you don't know as well. You have to find those spaces, right? But yeah, maybe going to, I don't know, we've done group hikes. That's how we met, right?
Yes.
Or doing something in your community. At least where I live in Tetuan, it's very diverse. So chatting up with people, I don't know, at the grocery store or something, but making that effort to really connect on a human level. Otherwise, that's what happens. You hear the news and you start feeling like, I don't know, developing these feelings of just distance with people.
100% like individualism and like absolutely. So it was getting to the end of that exchange and I knew I wanted to stay. But I knew I for me, Valencia was like a little bit small. I felt like I had to kind of experience everything I wanted to experience there. And I was feeling drawn to like big city, maybe Barcelona, maybe Madrid. Ooh la la.
In competition always.
And so I'm trying to think like how it all went down. I started like activating the network, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to do this. But there is this huge stereotype of like, it's so difficult to get a true work visa in Spain. And it's true. Like it's next to impossible. And so.
Next to impossible, but
not
possible.
Impossible.
It's very, very hard. We have a lot of friends, I think, that have dealt with this. You have.
Yeah.
You can do it. But
it can be
it's
done.
Not easy.
So I started like asking around. I started trying to activate like anybody that I knew, like the director of like the program of teaching English, like friends of my mom's friend who knew someone who lived in Spain, like all these people. And basically I'm just getting like shut door after shut door, like everyone's saying. It's super difficult to get a work visa, especially like transitioning from the student work visa, which is what I had in the like exchange program, to a work visa. It's super, super difficult. So I spent like maybe 1 or 2 months like interviewing people.
Hi everyone, as you can see, the video cut short. I'm not sure why. I think it has to do with storage, but I'm learning how to do a podcast. So that was part 1 of my interview with my friend Ren, and soon you'll hear part 2. So this is where she explains how she went from Valencia to Madrid, how she got her dream job working in advertising and working with influencers, and also just as important, how she's gotten a pretty good salary, where in Spain it's known for terrible salaries. It has to do a lot with her attitude, turning challenges into opportunities, and also a little of manifestation. So stay tuned.